So some of your future homework, including chapter 6, is going to have some Excel questions, some functions that can get a little bit tricky. So I just want to give you just a real quick tutorial on how to do those. There's also a McGraw-Hill kind of tutorial that's really good for everybody should be watching it. I don't remember, it's only 5 or 10 minutes long, but it has some more functions other than what I'm going to show you that Excel is such an important tool for you to be able to do. So here's the spreadsheet. We have 5 payments of $100. So we did a problem like this in class or in my lecture earlier. So if we wanted to know the NPV stands for net present value. We type in the formula equals NPV, and as soon as you do that, you put the parentheses. Notice that down here it shows you, okay, it's the rate and then the values. So the rate is right here, D2, then we hit a comma, and then I'm going to put in these 5 cells, okay? And then I'm going to hit the close parentheses, and that's it. So notice that the 5 100s was the problem I gave you in class about if we wanted to buy a TV, made 5 $100 payments at 8%, what would be the price of the TV? And that'd be $399. Now, the good thing about the NPV is that I could change these to whatever, 250, 400, okay? And it will change it, okay? So I can have unequal payments there. So if I use the present value formula, equals PV, put a parenthesis, so notice it's a little bit different. It's still asking for the rate, and then it says N per, that's the number of periods. So the present value can only be used when you have a equal payment. So if I said, okay, the number of periods is going to be 5, which you don't want to hit it, you don't want to enter in a number like this when you do the problems. You want to always use a cell reference. So I'm typing in a number for the moment, but I don't want you to do that on the homework. And then let's say the payments is 100, put a parentheses there, and hit return. Now notice I get the exact same answer because I have 5 100s here, and I typed the number 100 in there. Okay? Now notice it's red, it's negative. So this is very similar to how your calculator returns numbers. When you type in all positive numbers, it returns like the opposite sign. So the way you're going to have to adjust this in your homework for chapter 6 is in the present value formula, put the negative sign right in front of the PV. Okay? So now when we do that, it makes it $399. Okay? So the present value is going to be used for when you have equal payments. Okay? So I could have simply said number of years, and then I could have said payments. So to do this again, I could say 5 and 100. So to type this over again, I go equals negative PV, come up here for the interest rate, comma, the number of periods is 5, comma, the payment is 100, parentheses, hit return, and I get the $399. There's a question that asks for the perpetuity. And I'll just give you a clue. I want you to figure this out on your own, but it's going to be something like A divided by B. Those would be cells, whatever, A3 divided by B2 or something like that. So I want you to figure that one out on your own. You have to simply know the formula for perpetuity that we talked about in class. So the next one is the payment function. Okay? So we're going to go, well, let me type in some information first here. Okay, so let's say I wanted to figure out the payment of this loan, $45,000, 25 years at 8%. This was the crack house that we bought in Detroit, and we want to know what the payment is. So we hit equals, and I hit payment, parentheses, and now notice it says rate. So where's the rate? Right there, comma, number of periods, right there, comma, present value, what I'm borrowing today, and then that's it. I know it has like future value and type, but notice those are in brackets and that it doesn't necessarily need those. Okay, so that just means we want to figure out the payments for a future value, but we don't. So we hit the parentheses. Now notice I don't have any sign in front of payments, so what's going to happen when it returns it? It's going to be negative. This is a positive, so this one's going to be a negative. So normally you would say, okay, I have a loan that's, you know, well, I don't want to get confusing. Anyway, we're going to make the payment negative, and that returns us payment of $42.15. Okay, so those are the questions you're going to be asking homework for chapter 6.